Hi there, welcome to the Gardens and Graveyard channel. My name is Charisma and today we are meeting in the front yard and we're going to have a front yard and lower garden garden tour. So I live on the Oregon coast in a zone 9A. It is the first week of December and our temperatures are hovering between 40 in the evening or at night and 55 in the daytime. So not a really big swing. We've had a couple of frosts, but just a light kiss, not really anything that's damaging the plants. So we're gonna just kind of take a walk around the garden and see what's happening this time of year. And I don't expect it to be very long because there's not a lot going on, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. So the first thing I want to point out is the jasmine is actually growing quite a lot. And I need to either train it. Look at this. It's just like coming out in every direction. But I actually want to get it in the ground and I'm going to trellis it. So it's like really ready for me to do that. It's just getting quite long and it has all this beautiful fall color on it, which is super fun. Let's see, we still have a table full of plants. We are doing a project here this afternoon and a video will come out soon, but several of those plants will be put into the ground today, which will be good because I'm sure they'll be happy to not spend the winter up on that table. Over in the Privet Grove, we have lost all the leaves on our elderberries. Both the lemony lace and the black lace elderberry have lost all their leaves. All of the hostas are underground now. We do have a hellebore up here that is putting on some new flowers. Those so sweet. And the rest of this garden is pretty much dormant at this point in time. And I'm waiting for the hellebores to come up on this one, but this one comes up a little bit later than the others. But then when it starts blooming, it blooms for months and months. The rest of this area is pretty much just gone to sleep. The rose garden has gone to sleep. We've been starting to work over there. We'll be sharing that with you soon. We've got Candy Tuft that is coming into bloom all over the place. Really fun little sprinkle of white flowers. And then this direction here is being emptied out more and more. We've taken all of the irises, dahlias, hollyhocks, everything's been removed out of here. The beds have a whole bunch of tulips in it, and I recently replanted irises right behind those beds, so that'll be really fun. The Edgeworthia, this is the worst time of year for it right now. It's when all of its leaves are coming down, and these will drop all their leaves and then they leave this sweet little white bloom. So eventually the whole plant will just be empty stems with these sweet little blossoms, but it's just in this little interim, and it's a very short period of time that this plant doesn't look good for the entire year. Typically, I just love it all the time. It's just right now, it needs to just let go of those leaves. Okay, so not much else going on. The pansies are hanging out, but they're not really blooming too much. You could tell the difference of the pansies and the violas because the violas have this small little face and they are the only ones that you actually see blooming in these pots. The other ones, this is like a leftover pansy leaf and it's so done. moving out, let's go ahead and go out here. We recently started training these lemon cypresses to create an arch. That's going well enough. Out here we just have some evergreen and deciduous shrubs. The Rose of Sharon's have lost all their leaves there, and the barberry is starting to lose their leaves, but I wanted to point out that this early blooming rhododendron already has a little bit of cracking in its color, which is pretty exciting because we're going to start having blooms on those in the next month or two, I guess. Over this direction, things are just kind of going to sleep. It looks like the cosmos has succumbed to cold. It's pretty much done now. But can you get a load of this Vermillionaire? It still has so many blooms on it, and it's still looking so good. You could see a lot of blossoms have dropped, but I am just shocked at how many are still all over this plant. And there's another one over there still looking absolutely gorgeous. Here it is, the beginning of December, and we have hummingbirds on it, and it's so fun to have that in the garden. That has been blooming so well for months and months and months. When we planted it in March, it had blooms on it, and it has not stopped blooming. Highly recommend a Vermillionaire from Proven Winners. Highly recommend it. Over here, the staghorn sumacs have lost all of their leaves. Just gorgeous branching, beautiful seed heads. A little bit hard to see in the camera. You can see the seed heads there. Just really, really beautiful trees. And the columbine has started to pop up, which will be blooming late spring, but the foliage has started to come back up already. And everything that direction is pretty quiet. Anything going on down that way? I don't think so. The pampas grass still is holding on to its seed heads, not too weighed down by rain just yet. The burning bush has almost lost all of its foliage, but looking pretty good. We just transplanted that not too long ago, so I'm keeping an eye on it. Everything over here is pretty much deciduous, so we'll be cutting back all these things soon. And then the azalea will be an early bloomer, and it has lots of little tiny buds on it, so I'm really looking forward to what that's going to look like this spring. And then over here, I just wanted to point out this barberry has held on to its leaves longer than any of the other ones. It still has tons of fall color. And then we've got the winter interest of the ponytail grass and the bluegrass, which has this really sweet, wispy seed head. All right, so next I'm just gonna pop downstairs and share the medicine garden and lower garden with you all. All right, heading downstairs, I just wanted to point out this heather has started to bloom. The white one always blooms first, and then the purple one blooms later. So that's fun. It's already started to bloom. And the pineapple sage that we waited all summer long to bloom has been blooming for several weeks. It looks a little tired at this point, but we still see hummingbirds, our native little brown hummingbirds, on it every day. And so we've got these tubular flowers here, and then the tubular flowers on the Vermillionaires right there. So they've got a good source of food hanging out in the front yard here. Then going down this direction, I wanted to point out our Ghost Viburnum has flowers all over it this year, which is super fun. Just really beautiful, sweet little flower. Has a kind of a sweet scent, which is nice. This area is mostly deciduous, and you can see the cold has hit that Jack Frost, and definitely time to cut these guys back. As for the herb garden, not much goes on in the winter time. Everything just kind of hangs out and waits for the sun to reappear. So it's kind of quiet. We do have a little tiny bit of snapdragons up there, still putting out a little flower power. And then all the mints do just fine through the winter. They're just hanging out. They don't do a lot of growing, but they don't die back either. Same with the strawberries. They just kind of sit there for the winter. Let's go ahead and move into this part of the garden. The Bear's Breeches is looking absolutely gorgeous right now. I've got to take off the lower leaves, but the new growth looks beautiful. The rest of the garden is kind of just going dormant, losing all of its leaves. And the hydrangeas look beautiful, big and full. It takes a really long time for this oak leaf hydrangea to start showing some fall color. Here it is, December. We're starting to see a little bit of it, not much. Probably because now that this tree has lost its leaves, the hydrangea gets more sun. This one is going dormant, it loses its leaves, and we've pretty much just cut back everything in this garden. And I'm gonna just take one quick look here at our roses that we had growing on this arbor, because we're getting ready to move them and put them somewhere else. So Spencer started to put it up on the trolley so we can get it out of here. You could see this rose didn't grow much this year, whereas this rose was actually quite happy on this arbor. I just want to do something that's going to be a little bit more uniform on the arbor, and I think this will bloom a lot better in more sun. So we'll move that, and everything else, like I said, is just kind of quiet and dormant and gone to sleep. So that's gonna be it for our December backyard lower garden tour. And I hope that you're celebrating your life, you're having a great holiday season, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.